It's your girl, I am Amore, and I would like to welcome you to Let's Talk About It. And we're going to talk about it today. But first and foremost, I want to say happy pre Friday. Yes, I call it pre Friday. Happy pre Friday to each and every one of you. I thank you for coming and wanting to spend some time with me a little bit. We can chop it up and we're going to talk about a few things. I'd like to know, how is everyone doing? Drop it in the comments. Let me know how you doing today. Let me know what's going on with you on this great Thursday. We made it over the hump. We made it over hump day. So now we got to make it into Friday. Are you here mentally? Today has been a good day. It's been a rough day, but I'm going to say it's been a good day. Today we're talking about being present. Being present, meaning being present and not on these things. Being present, especially for our children, if you have children, or just being present for the people that you care about in general. We're also going to discuss some things about growing up in an unaffectionate household. All right, y'all. So like I said, we're going to talk about growing up in unaffectionate households. Okay. And then becoming a parent and possibly having a child who is like overly affectionate. Okay. So for me, growing up in a household where the woman is like the sole provider, I believe that parents become different moms. Okay. And when I say like mothers become different mothers, dads become different dads, what I mean by that is the roles that they play. So sometimes a mom could play the role of a housewife, or dad could play the role of a house husband, however y'all want to put it. Mom can play the role of having a titty. And I'm just saying mom, but dads as well can have the role of taking the child to school, practices, things of that nature. And I believe that each and every role that we play as parents bring a different attitude to us as well. Y'all agree or disagree? I think it brings a different attitude to us. And I say that because in some sectors we are in a different mode. Sometimes in certain situations we become in survival mode. You know, there's modes where we feel like about to have a breaking point. And sometimes we don't mean to take it out on our children, but necessarily it does affect the children. So much so that when our children finally become adults, or when we became adults, we feel some type of way to our parents. I think we show reflection sometimes as to how a person might have treated us, especially our parents. How our parents might have treated us, we may show reflection. We show the reflection of how we treat them. And sometimes that's not always the case. I'm going to say that. Sometimes that's not always the case. But I think that, again, these are generational issues. Okay. Even down to the affection or lack of affection that a parent may have for their child. And again, from my experience, okay, being an emotional individual and having a parent that's kind of like tough, don't mix. It's like oil and water. Okay. And I believe that with that lack of emotion, the child can feel like they're not being heard or not being seen. Like I say all the time, children aren't children forever. Eventually they grow up into adults. And when the child becomes an adult and had that lack of affection, they're looking for affection elsewhere. They're just trying to find a feeling for their empty space. It's not always the healthiest, but where do you draw the line in regards to the parent and child relationship? Like, children can't just say, hold up, mommy or daddy. I want to set some boundaries. Because in our households, we were told to be seen and not heard and stay in a child's place. So that statement in itself kind of bothers me. Those statements bother me, right? Because being seen and not heard, you eventually grow up to be that person that don't talk, don't express your feelings. And then when you finally express your feelings, you just snap because we weren't necessarily taught how to effectively place our feelings. Just told to be seen and not heard and stay in the child's place. Where do we draw the line here in regards to raising our own children, if you have children, or our siblings, if you have younger siblings that you're raising? How can we learn from those particular statements that might have been said to us? How can we learn from those? Can we learn from them? Can we? Are you willing to learn from it? Y'all let me know, because I want to know what. I gotta know something, because I need some help. I need some help. So now, like, I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty with you guys, right? Because y'all my family, and this is what we do. Y'all my family, and this is what we do. Let me take that. So look, I believe that this is not this growing up is not easy, especially when you feel like you're in this world by yourself. Of course, people will say, "Oh, you're not in this by yourself. We're here. We got you." And but it's a whole different world when you're feeling like you're walking your path alone. Okay, like, and sometimes you may not even understand. Sometimes and when they say it starts at home, they say that in school all the time. It starts at home. It does. It starts at home. And it starts at home from the standpoint of a foundation. So I would like to know from you guys, what did your foundation look like? Because everybody's situation is different. Nobody's situation is the same. And, this here is your safe haven. I want y'all to just elaborate a bit. Let me know. What did your foundation look like? Was it a foundation at all? Did you feel secure in your foundation? Because for me, like I said, my mom was a provider. She went to school, she went to work, she went to work a lot. She went to work a lot. And again, a person like me, who was like an emotional being, I needed nurturing. Not saying I didn't need or want the stuff we could buy in the store, but I needed nurturing. I needed a lot of nurturing. And I still feel like I do in some sense. Need some nurturing. So if you don't necessarily know, if you don't know what nurturing looks like, think about how your grandmother is to you or was to you. Think about how she just used to hug you just because. Or she used to be like, "Come here, baby, let me," just with that soft voice. Or just take the time to just say, "How was your day?" The little stuff that means so much, especially as a kid. You know, I'm going to say a child, especially as a child. It means a lot because so many times, like I said, we're not present. We on these that we're not focusing on what's in front of us, what's right there in front of us. I'm gonna give you an example. The other day, me and my daughter were chilling. We like this on the phones. Then I put my phone down. No, I looked over at her and I was like, "Yo, we not even paying attention to each other." I put my phone down. I was like, "All right, put your phone down. Let's talk. Let's talk." I mean, she's 6, but still, we never know what our children are really going through at school. Because what I'm learning as Arya is in school is that yes, I try to be her biggest influence, but I am not her only influence. Okay. And these children are going through things that we as adults may not even recognize because we're going through too. But if we don't take care of the people that we brought into this world, how can we ever expect them to take care of themselves? Tiffany said, I love that. It's important to talk and ask questions and just kind of pick their brains. Absolutely. Absolutely. Being present. Being present. We have to be present for our children. We have to be present for ourselves. It's important to be present. So much so. I'm going to tell you, so much so, y'all. To the point where if you're not present, we will be going through situations and we'll be going through some situations, y'all. Just like Monique and her son. Just like we'll be going through those situations. The sad part is that, they are going through these things in the public eye, you know? And I mean, and maybe it's not a bad thing in the same sense. You want to know why? Because it can shed light on our own situations, make us see what we need to work on, not get so wrapped up in what they got going on, but look at ourselves. It's easy to look at everybody else and be like, shit, they fucked up. They got a bad situation going on over there. But really, this situation might be the same or might be a little worse. Some people don't speak to their parents until the parents on their deathbed. Some never speak to them. Some people don't even show up to their parents' funeral. I'm going to stick to that. It's important, y'all, to be present for ourselves. It's important to be present for our children. It's important all the way around. All the way around. But I do want to ask you all. Sometimes you feel like you have to separate yourself from your parents in order for you to get a peace of mind. Let me know. Right? Do you have to do that? Because I mean, at the end of the day, our parents are just people too. Sometimes I know my parents get on my nerves. So let me know. Y'all can call in 443-814-0750. Call in. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Sometimes you feel like you got to separate yourself from your parents because you need a peace of mind. Tip said, yes, ma'am. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be transparent. Now, me and my mom, sometimes we don't always see eye to eye. Okay. A few times or another, I've had to take a break for myself, for my mental. I'm not saying that you have to be an a-hole. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying like sometimes you may need to take a break. I've been preaching that since the first episode. Take a break. Take a break from people. Take a break from people because sometimes, especially when a parent has their child young, I feel like, yo, we grew up together. You really my sister mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because me and my mother is probably like what, a decade and some change apart. Like, sis, you my sister. You don't leave me alone. My mom calls me her diary all the time, and I'd be like, sometimes I don't answer the phone. Shh, don't tell her. But sometimes I don't because I don't want people to keep loading that stuff on me. I don't want it. I don't want that. Sometimes it's a hard weight to bear. And sometimes I get tired. I be tired. Not tired. I be tired. Okay? And Tiffany said, because the thing is, We love and respect our moms, but you may not have the same views on certain things. Absolutely. You may not have the same views. And that's okay. And even without children, like even the toddlers, y'all, they have their own opinion. But my question to you, are you okay with your child having an opinion? Or do you find yourself reverting back to stay in a child's place? Be seen and not heard. Let me know. I'm gonna sip on my little juicy juice. You see that? Self-love, y'all. This is what this is about. Tiff said, I think it's limit. What are the limits that you have? Because sometimes I feel like our children, they hear everything we say, right? They hear everything. And sometimes they be like, why you use it now? What I told you. Why did you use that right? You used that at the wrong time. Use that at the wrong time. But I'm glad you made it. Thank you for rocking with us. And two, I want your input. We are talking about growing up in unaffectionate homes and having children who are overly affectionate and being present. Okay. So the question that we just had is, do we put a limit on our children expressing themselves, right? So Tiffany says, I think it's okay to express themselves. I wasn't taught that growing up. Right. So listen, Tiff, kind of piggybacking off of that, right? Like, okay, so we weren't necessarily taught how to express ourselves. Our parents, I guess they weren't either because they definitely ain't teachers, right? How did you like growing up? Like, how did you finally was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna express myself. Like, this is my form of expression. Because for me, I was a crier. Okay, I was a crier, and my mom was like, "What the hell are you crying for? Don't make me give you something to cry for." Like, what? I'm crying, lady, because you hurt my damn feelings. But we don't express that to our parents. We just be like, all right, I don't even know why I'm crying. But really be crying because they hurt our feelings. They hurt our feelings. And but seriously, y'all can call in 443-814-0750. Y'all can call in, let me know, or post it in the chat. Let me know, how did you eventually learn to express your feelings? So Kiana says, I literally struggled so hard. I tried by explaining that I wasn't given much affection, but I am very transparent with them. They found other ways to get affection from me. I don't really like to be touched. When I say, I'm going to say it, y'all. I'm going to say it and I don't care. Our parents traumatized us, bro. Like, we have to figure this shit out because I know I don't want my daughter to grow up and not be affectionate or question how she shows affection or feel like her showing affection just is wrong. Is wrong, or she shouldn't do it because it's not the end thing. So Kiana says, so my daughter is a hugger, but I had to teach her my boundaries. Parents have boundaries too. That's a listen. That's great that you said that, because I think that we don't necessarily express that to our children. We expect them to just know. Bro, no. They don't just know. Like, we don't just know. Like, they're learning as we're learning. And I tell people all the time, our children, just because they are our children, don't necessarily mean we know them. Right? Because we don't know what spirit that was placed in them. We have to learn them. They have to learn us, you know? So Tiffany said that she doesn't like to be touched either. And it's something that my sister notices, but I had to change that for my kids because I don't want them to think it's not okay to hug me or be affectionate. Wow. Wow. Bro. Force man, just hug yourself right now. Good God, y'all got me in my feelings. Y'all got me in my feelings. Oh my. Oh my. So yes, yes. Tiffany also said yes, they love us. They don't see the trauma from the past. So Tiffany, I'm gonna say this. I think sometimes they see the trauma because we express the trauma. Does that make sense? Sometimes they see the trauma because we express that trauma. Like even when we sometimes it's like unconsciously we express that trauma. It's not like on purpose at all. But I think sometimes we be like, you know what? Oops, I slipped up real fast. I kind of sound like my mother real quick. I gotta press the reset button. Good thing about this right now that they're little is that we can correct some things. So Kiana says, at first I was like, don't touch me. I could see her, don't touch me. But I had to explain. Now she knows to ask for one before just touching me. And it works out. I know she need the hug, so I oblige. Okay. She also said this is good dialect because it teaches them to respect boundaries and have empathy for us. Yeah. I gotta work on that. I have to work. I gotta work on a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I need y'all to help me out. Because like I said, it's no guide to parenting. There's no guide to parenting. I think our biggest rule be like, I just don't do what I just don't want to do what my mom and dad did to me. I feel like that is like the main number one highlight star exclamation point for a lot of people. I just don't want to do what my parents did to me. For real. I'm gonna say it. Because I'm gonna say what I want to say. Okay. But I just it's so again, like I feel like look, straight up. I don't want to be them. But the crazy part is, do you ever feel like sometimes when you be talking to your kids, you hear your parents' voice? Or is it just me? Or is it just me? I feel like this is why it's super important for us to be present. It's super important for us to be present. Tiffany says you want to teach them the same morals, but at the same time break them curses. Break them curses. Break them curses. All right, Kiana. All right. I ain't even reading that comment. Y'all can read it. We are. But I think that as when we were born, we became the better versions of our parents. So our children are the better versions of us. You know what I mean? But it's our job to make sure we don't hinder those better parts of us. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Do y'all understand? He said we have to learn to choose the good in them. Yeah. Yes, sir. But that starts at home. You are home. For your child, you are home, right? And in order to teach anybody anything, you have to be first willing to learn. Are you willing to learn the parts of you don't like? Because of course we like, shoot, I'm good. I got this going on. I got this. But those ugly parts of yourself, are you really willing to learn those and really be transparent with your children? Because I think transparency is important as well. So when you don't feel that validated by your parents, how does that make y'all really feel? Or when you go to them and say, you know what, when I was a kid, you really hurt me, or you really said something that really bothered me, and they just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. They get amnesia quick. I swear they get amnesia quick. They get it like with the swiftness. How does that really make y'all feel? I mean, Kiana said they always get amnesia. Don't they though? They get amnesia quick, my boy. They get amnesia quick. And Tiffany says, I think it's important to forgive them. All right, Tiff. So, like, do you forgive? And then when I say forgive, like you forgive and forget? Or do you forgive and you still have limitation on your forgiveness? Because are you really forgiving them for yourself? Because we could say, you know what? I forgive you. But really in the back of our minds, it could be something that trigger us. It could be the smallest thing. And we back at square one. So really, is it forgiveness or is it forgetfulness? Sif say I'm being biased though. I'm being biased. Listen. Forgiveness is hard. It's hard, but it's possible. Hey yo, I'm done. Because I really forgave one parent. I'm being honest. Yeah. If you being honest. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Do you ever feel like one parent like did worse than the other? So it's like it's easy to forgive them because what they did wasn't that bad. Do you feel like that? Man, Kiana said you want the validation so you can forgive. But when you don't get it, you be like, see, you the reason I'm fucked up now. Not the reason. All right, so boom. I'm gonna kind of play devil's advocate with this, Kiana, right? Because you said you the reason I'm messed up now. When do you start taking accountability and stop blaming the parent for your actions or for you being fucked up? Because we can't be running around 50, 60, 30, some odd plus and be like, my parent, the reason I'm fucked up. No. Tiff said, it's one thing to acknowledge a mistake and genuinely apologize. But then there's that amnesia y'all talking about to like, I'm the parent and I didn't do anything wrong. That's why she says it's important to forgive. Man, Tiff, made them all. Psych no. Psych no. But let me tell y'all something. So I'm listen. So before I tell y'all, Key said, now you gotta heal and get over it. That's why you gotta forgive. The reality of it is some people don't even want to forgive because they don't want to heal because they want to play the victim. I'm gonna be real. Some people love to be the victim. Okay. Tiff said, because like you said, you can't be grown still angry because your parents' mistakes. But why not? It's easy. It's like, nah, yeah. But it to some people it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to be like, oh no, nah, it's not me, it's them. Now, now, if it's a thing where your parents still bullshitting in your present day, that's all I'm gonna say. it's it's hard out here. Like you be like, yo, it's ghetto out here, and I didn't ask to be here. So why am I going through so much of this? Who idea was it to bring me here and go do this? Because I'm sure I didn't raise my hand and be like, Big G, me, do it. No, bro. No. Uh-uh. But listen, it's important for us to be present for our children, for ourselves. It's important to set boundaries. And the boundaries are not just for us, for other people, but they're really for us. Because for me, I had became a yes man for my parents because I felt like that's what you were supposed to do. But when you continue to again, like I've been saying, when you continue to pour, eventually you won't have anything left except for turmoil, except for anger, except for baggage. And some people ain't willing to help you unpack it. When Erica Badu said "bag lady," I think she was talking about you. If you ain't forgive, she was talking about you. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, go ahead and listen to that song right now. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. You can hurry up, 'cause you got too much stuff. When they see you coming, they'll just take up running. It's true. It's true. It is true, y'all. Tiff said Kiana said she was talking about me. Girl, she was talking about a whole lot of us. A whole lot of us. Tiff said boundaries is a form of self-care. Gotta have them boundaries in place. So listen to that. Listen to this, Tiff, right? The irony about it is a lot of this stuff that we now have terminologies to, our parents didn't use them. So they weren't taught. And I'm sure their parents probably didn't use them either, you know? So now it's like, all right, you got these tools. What are you going to do to use them? Because just like a salt shaker, food can't get seasoned if the salt shaker is still sitting on the table. You got to pick it up and put it on the food. So like your tools, you got to pick them up and use them, apply them in an effective manner. If you don't know how to, open your mouth and ask. Open your mouth and ask. I know it's hard. Sometimes we don't want to ask people because we don't want people in our business. And a form of even helping yourself. Look, therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. It's okay to go to therapy. I'm not saying to call your sister, uncle, brother. Go to therapy. If you believe in God, lean on God, whoever your God may be. Okay? It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with opening your mouth and asking for help. Everybody need help, even the strongest. Even the strongest people need help. Trust me. I know. Listen. I don't like always asking for help. I swear I don't. But sometimes it's necessary. All right. It's sometimes necessary, y'all. And that's fine. And it's fine. Kiana, I want to know in regards to your therapy, how did you figure like this is the time I need therapy? What was it that made you like, you know what? It's time for me to go. It's time for me to go to therapy. It's time. Because I mean, for me, you know, I went to therapy. I think I went to therapy. Shoot, I used to go to the guidance counselor in high school, bro, because I had lost a lot of people. And they were just like, yo, I don't mean no harm, but I was talking to her and I was like, bro, she don't understand nothing I'm talking about. She don't understand anything I'm talking about. But she tried. I will say she tried. And I went to therapy after I went to Roberta's house for a minute. And that was different. I'm gonna say that was different. Roberta's house was different. And I say different because it was like, you know how like you in a group session and you looking around and you like, yo, I gotta be strong in here. I gotta be strong in here because I just see, yo, we gotta be strong in here for each other. So it was just like it was cool. But sometimes for some people it's best to have an individual therapy session. Kiana said she had a meltdown and hopped out the car. She was driving and cried so bad in that car. Man, look, I don't know what it is about the car in the shower. The car and the shower are like the most therapeutic places there are sometimes. She said she knew it was unwarranted. I yelled at that man so bad, but I was really mad about my childhood. Wow. Damn, man. You ever have y'all ever like looked at like a picture? Looked at a picture of your younger self and might have asked like what happened to her or what happened to him? Or like ponder about that moment when that picture was taken? Tis said it is important to find a therapist that fits you. I went through two before I found one and absolutely loved it. Man, listen, make sure y'all shoot y'all therapist information in the comments or something because we never know who we can help. We never know who we can help. And I definitely will be shooting some therapy resources to each and everybody because if you need it, you know, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna get a shirt to say there's nothing wrong with therapy. It's not. It's not. It's not. But yeah, like we gotta stop running from ourselves. Like everybody be talking about, oh, I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm good, bro. Let something happen that trigger you. Let something happen that trigger you. Let's see how healed you are. Let's see how triggered you are. Healing is not a pretty process. I'm gonna say it. It's not a pretty process. But I always say, practice makes progress, not perfection. We're not looking for it. Not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. And in order to, again, be present, we have to learn to learn and find ways to get healed from everything, not just some parts. Because sometimes we'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna just take this little part right there, and that's what I want to heal today. No, we gotta heal everything. Everything. Keith said, I have a psychotherapist and a cognitive behavioral therapist, and it took some time to find them. She right about finding the right one. Yeah. It's like a partner. You gotta find the right one. You know? You gotta find the right one. So be present and listen, I want to ask you this real fast. Being a person that is unaffectionate, how do you make space for your affectionate child without making them feel like they're a burden? I know Kiana said the boundaries, but are there other ways that you know, try to cater to your affectionate child without them having to take the initiative? He said, I didn't think it would help at first, but talking about the trauma gets to the root. Let me tell you something. People going going into it with expectations. I think that hinders a lot of people who go into therapy because they go into it with expectations already. Well, having that, I know. You don't know, motherfucking thing, but they be like, I know this about this. I don't need no help. So Kiana said to my question in regards to how can we cater to our affectionate children without making them feel like a burden or having them take initiative. She says you have to find middle ground with them. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is a practice, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all know how it goes throughout the week. Now, yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna definitely try because my baby deserves every part of me, the best versions of me. She deserve it. Key said you had to be careful not to force yourself into being uncomfortable, but also make them feel comfortable about you. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I think sometimes she be like, "Mommy, Like, girl, if you don't get the hell up on my face, bro. Talking about you want a hug. Didn't I just give you a hug? That's a trigger for me. Why is it that when I want to give you affection, you want to deny my affection? Like, sis, what's wrong with you? Like, Houston, we have a problem. We have a problem. Just being open with her, she is old enough to understand who you are. You know Arya. So, okay. She's something else. She's something else. Hey, I think we need to have like a sister village type of shindig. Cause like they say, children, children need a village. Adults need a village too. So we're gonna create our village right here and let's talk about it. Yeah, she do know she knows more than most. Cause she be like, she got that mommy. I've been knew this. Sis, chill on me. Chill. That's why I call her mother. Cause she swears she my mother. Okay? She swears she my mother. And I just be like, okay. All right, mother. All right, mother. I just listen. At this point of time, y'all, I want us to be okay and be okay. You know what I mean? Right? But Tiff said they will surprise you with what they know. Literally sponges. Sponges, like I don't know what. It's crazy. You be like, dang, how they know that? I be fascinated. I'm fascinated because these babies, bro, man, they something else. And I love it though. Sometimes I be like, ooh, why you had to do that? But it works out for the most part, y'all. It works out. So I challenge each and every one of y'all to be present for yourself. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself so we can show up for our babies. So they can be better versions of us and even better versions of themselves. Because they deserve it. They deserve it. And as for our parents, go to therapy, bro. We got let me tell you something about these older generations. They don't like to be told what to do, and they don't like to be told what to do. Like, I hope that one day me, my mom, my grandmother can go to therapy together, because just as well as people got individual issues, sometimes that could trickle over to group issues and be issues for the issues. Look, they close minded. Why do y'all think that is? Is that a guard? Is that a defense mechanism for them to be close minded and not just listen, or they just hard headed as hell? Which one is it? Therapy not the same like the 60s. Yeah, they're not gonna put you in a straight jacket and you walking up, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do that. I mean, unless you really need a straight jacket. Unless you really need one, they're not gonna do it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, they need to look, unlearn, relearn. Unlearn, relearn. Derek Gray said unlearn, relearn. And that's what they need to do. It's them. It's not just the curses. It's not just the curses. It's the sweeping the shit under the rug that is never acknowledged. So the curses and sweeping the shit under the rug that is not acknowledged. And on top of that, let me tell y'all, ain't no more room under that damn rug. It's no more room. It's no more room. And then they get upset with us because we the motherfuckers to be like, take that, throw that rug in the trash, get the broom and dustpan. We gotta clean this up. Clean up, woman. Mm-hmm. I said what I said. Not you. Stop coming for my phone, yo. Yes, that rug needed to be. The rug need to be tossed, burnt, and everything else. No more secrets, no more lies, no more deceitfulness, no more, none of that. The whole damn family need to go to group therapy. Shit, I said it. Whole family. Just go to therapy. Because y'all don't know how much it's so crazy to the point where people got vendettas within the family that they don't even know why the hell they mad. They don't even know why they mad. They just mad because their uncle, sister, brother, cousin, mother was mad. So between the generational curses, the bullshit under the rug, it got to go. How can y'all expect to grow? And I think that's why a lot of people, certain cultures, don't grow because we holding on to old shit. How you gonna hold on to old shit and try to expect some new shit? That's like this. I'm gonna show you just like this, right? You got your hands filled with a whole lot of shit, right? You got your hands filled. How are you gonna get anything new if your hands are filled? Let that shit go. Let it go. You can't hold anything. You can't grasp anything new if your hands filled. So if somebody toss something at you, how you gonna get it? How you gonna get it? Let that shit go. People die holding on to grudges. Holding on to grudges. Yo. People die holding on to grudges. That's insane. Just me saying that, I'm like, yo, that's insane. And then when the funeral comes, people be like, you the reason? What the like, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why it's important to be present, forgive, because we talked about forgiveness too, right? Know your audience. I say that all the time. Know your audience. Know your audience. And your audience are your children. Your audience is yourself at this point. Because we can't keep going living in this world and you got so much gook in your heart. Yes, I said gook. And CC, hey baby. Sierra said you can't grow if you don't let it go. You can't grow if you don't let it go. You can't grow if you don't let it go. And she is absolutely right. You cannot grow if you don't let it go. So what you gonna do? You're gonna hold on to your shit, or you gonna let it go so you can get some new things. And don't just let it go momentarily. Like, let it go for one because that's something that you really want to do. Let it go because you're tired of the sleepless nights. Let it go because you do want to break generational curses and you don't want your children to be filled with that poison. Because what you hold on to, they're going to eventually hold on to. Stress will kill your ass. Do you know that? It'll kill you. Stress will kill your ass. And then you won't have nothing to worry about. But your children's children, they have something to worry about. You want that burden on them. I'm telling y'all, be present. So look, I see some new people that came in. And I want to ask y'all too, because Kiana and Tiff been holding me down. They've been holding this down. You hear me? So I want to know, how can you function in an unaffectionate home? Okay. And you're an affectionate child. Like, you became an affectionate child to an unaffectionate person, parent. How were you able to function? If that was your story. If it wasn't your story, tell me what your story was. Because I like to know. Like, I need to know about some healthy parent relationships. Okay? Because I want to be a great goddamn parent. I don't want to be a horrible parent where my kid like ship me off to the nursing home first thing smoking. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be in the nursing home, y'all. I swear. So what we do? What we do? Let me know. Let me know. I want to thank y'all for tuning in with me. I am a more. And let's talk about it. So Jerica says that's tough. I think sometimes as parents we get caught up in the day-to-day responsibilities we forget. We do forget to be present. And as I stated earlier, y'all, we on these all the time. All the time. And it's like if we on this, I feel like this right here is the distraction, right? And maybe some distractions are set for specific reasons. Disconnect don't just happen by chance. Now that I'm really thinking about it, certain systems were placed so that there could be a disconnect within the families. And certain things were made so there could be disconnects within the families. Agree or disagree? Let me know. So are you going to allow these things that's placed in our lives to be the distraction from having a profound relationship with our children? For allowing you to just forget about yourself too? So Jerica says, I think if you explain to your children what adulting looks like to them, it will be more understanding as they get older. Yeah, for sure. But two, I think adulting kind of look a little different from a child's perspective. So I kind of want to hear, like, I may even have an episode honestly with Aria with on here, like she, and just try to pick her mind and see what she thinks. Because I think we don't give our children enough credit, or we don't give them enough dialect to be like, what you think? What do you think about this? And I say this and I say this as well because so earlier today, y'all, Ari says we're going to NVA. Ari says, "Mommy, can I tell you the directions?" What the hell you mean? The direction? I got nervous. Start stuttering, right? So it's just like, yo, you gotta show your child that you trust them. I think that's where it starts too. You gotta show your child that you trust them. Now, God darn it, it's kind of hard to trust a kid with the map of the directions, and you got to be there by a certain time, and you don't want to get lost. But today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. Okay, gave it a phone, and I was like, "Hey, where are we going?" She said, "Is this my left?" I said, "Aria, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, please. This is not the time. I got to be there, but a certain time, and this is not the time to play." Okay, but she got me there. You know, I had to say, "Hey, does this say 48 or 68, whatever?" And she was like, "Yeah, it says 68. That then it says this word, this." I was like, "Okay." So I think baby steps with learning, with showing your children that you trust them, also can allow some gateways to open in regards to a relationship. So I think that I know for me, sometimes I'd be like, "Yo, just get on my way. I do it. You ain't got, don't do it." Like doing that, I think it kind of like dismantles how they feel, their feelings. Like, bro, damn, you don't let me do nothing, and then we get mad when they don't do nothing. So I don't. Being a parent, I say it all the time. This shit is ghetto, but we gotta do this. We got this. We got this, y'all. We got this. I hope. Shit, it's hard. It's hard, but I think we got it. I thank y'all again for like tuning in with me, rocking with me. Yo, we've been on here for an hour. It don't even feel like an hour and some change. So Kiana said she gonna call and hear my brother, my little brother, next time and see what he say. I sure hope so. He gonna have a lot to say. Oh my God. He be like, sister. Oh man. So Jerica says if communication is key in an intimate relationship, then it should be the key with our children. Snap, snap, baby. Sierra says, even if we have to go behind them to do it the right way or how we want it, we have to let them try to gain confidence and independence. For sure. So I can attest to this, right? See, because so Arya you know, these children in the first grade, bro, with their reading and stuff. Like during the break, we were like really, it was really like down to the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? And it was like, you gotta be your child's cheerleader, not their biggest critic. I think a lot of times it'd be like, you're not doing this right. We can't do that. Just take a damn breath, chillax, and speak life into your babies. Our parents did. Let me tell y'all. For me, my mother used to be when homework time. I hated homework time. My mother, she was like, "You don't know, you don't." Yo, that shit used to scare me. I used to be like, "I'm gonna just do my damn homework at school." I don't want my daughter to be like that. I want her to be like, "My mama got her panties in a bunch, bro. I'm not doing all that. I ain't got no homework today." Like, we gotta change the narrative. Like, this is our story, and we gotta be the author of that mofo. You got a question? Yes, I love questions. Yes, yes. What's your question? I love questions, yo. Hopefully, I got an answer. Kiana said, yes, it takes patience with us so we can let them learn. Man, patience ain't the word, bro. Good gosh. Man, again, that's why I keep saying it all the time. I say this all the time, y'all. Like, man, for real, like, practice is progress. Practice is progress. Not perfection. Practice is progress, not perfection, y'all. It's not. I swear. Have a question or comment? By all means, call in 443-814-0750. Yes, yes, we do have a number. Let's talk about it has a number. So Jerica asks y'all, how do you know when to set boundaries? In this day and time with all the mental health problems, how do we discipline our kids? Tear that ass up. Say no. All right, y'all. Here go the question again. How do you know when to set boundaries in this day and time with all the mental health problems? How do we discipline our children? Man. So I believe you know when to set boundaries when I think you gotta set boundaries from the get go, because a lot of times we don't think our children will test us, but sometimes they'll test us to the point where things will trigger us, and then we just go off of emotion and not logic. Now, with this discipline thing, I don't know. I think it all depends on the child, because some children aren't receptive to beatings. And when I say receptive to beatings, is they take it on the chin and do whatever they want because they're like, okay, whatever, that was a temporary pain. Whereas some children, if you beat them one good time, they straight. And then you have children that you may have to take things from. Okay? Take it from them. Stand on business. Okay? Don't cave in and stand on business. But that discipline thing, bro. I'm actually going to do that right now. So I need somebody to answer the question. How do we discipline these children? Do we discipline them? Sierra said, oh, that's a good question. First and foremost, please don't allow mental health issues to deter you from setting boundaries and discipline your children. It's often helpful to sit down and discuss with your children what type of consequences will be in place, depending on what they did. That's a perfect, see, that's right. See, that's a perfect answer, bro. It is important to sit our children down. But I think sometimes we got to find the right words so that they can understand what we're saying. We can't talk like we're talking to an adult, y'all. Granted, our children do understand more than we give them credit for, but we do have to necessarily make sure that they fully understand what we're talking about. Sierra for president. Hey! Sierra for president. Let's go. Let's go, go, go. I'm with that. CC for president. Let's go. Yeah, y'all. I love that response. I'm supposed to put it right back up there. Boom. Yeah. So again, y'all, like I told y'all before in regards to the mental health issues, again, mental health is very important here at Let's Talk About It. And if you don't talk about it, a person won't know. You can't assume. People know what's going on with you. So let people know if you are having a hard time, hard day. It's okay not to be okay. Okay? Remember, it's okay not to be okay. All right? So, y'all, I thank each and every one of you for rocking out with me. I am Amore. And let's talk about it. We had a great time tonight. A great time tonight. I hope that we can continue to build this village so that it can continue to be the safe haven for each and every one of us. Because we're going to grow from this. No one is perfect. But remember, practice makes progress. Okay? Don't beat yourself up. To the mamas, to the dads, you got this. You got this. Okay? Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. No, not today. Not tomorrow. No day forward. Just continue to take it a moment at a time. Okay? Remember, you are important. You are beautiful. You are one of a kind. And remember, you are already the missing piece. All you got to do is heal yourself, find yourself, love on yourself, and complete your puzzle. Thank you for joining me. I am Amore on Let's Talk About It. And I'll see you all next Thursday, 8:30 sharp, y'all. I'm out. Love you guys. Peace.